Hey everyone, Alan Shimel, MediaOps. Thanks for joining us on another session here for Predict 2021 as we kind of take out our crystal balls or make our best guesses or, I don't know, stargazing, whatever. But we're going to try to bring some clarity and give you some view into what 2021 holds around the area of value stream management, humans in value stream, etc. I have two great guests I'm going to introduce to you who are going to help me with this today. First, the gentleman with the beard is Andrew Fuqua. Andrew, do you want to introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, sure. I guess briefly, I've been working in independent software vendors like IBM and Internet Security Systems and point of sales for 20-something years, another 10 or so years as a lean Agile consultant with Leading Agile. And so I've always cared about software delivery, software management, product management, and how do you get the most out of your systems, or in other words, out of your value stream. So that's where I've come from, that's where I care about, and that's why I'm involved with ConnectALL doing the same thing.
Internet Security Systems, that brings up some memories for me. Yes, and the important thing though is we did you mentioned finally at the end there that you're with ConnectALL. What's your present position with ConnectALL, Andrew?
I'm the Vice President of Product Development. So
fantastic.
Product direction for all of our products.
Great. Joining Andrew and I is my friend Lance Knight. Lance is COO of ConnectALL, correct?
That's right. Yeah, I'm the COO right now.
Great. Lance, before we jump into things, I don't know if everyone in the audience is familiar with ConnectALL. So I don't want to make it a product or a company pitch. They didn't come here for marketing, but give folks a little ConnectALL kind of primer real quick if you could.
Sure. ConnectALL has transformed and we are a full value stream management company. And that means that we allow companies to see, measure, and automate their software delivery value streams. We go all the way from products that we offer that allow that automation to happen, that give you the metrics to see that, the flow metrics and the lean metrics and agile metrics, all the way to the services and the training to allow people to do value stream optimizations in their organization.
Fantastic. So guys, let's jump into it, Andrew and Lance. As we were talking off camera, pre-COVID times, if someone would have had asked me, let's say last February or January, what was going to be the big story in DevOps for 2020, I would have said value stream management, right? Because it was time. We have seen over the last 7, 8 or more years in DevOps a continuing complexity of tools and tool sets with redundancy, and we use several tools that do sort of the same things. And from a people perspective, right? Enterprises having multiple DevOps teams for different projects. Sometimes they're at odds with each other. Sometimes they're not. Hopefully you try to get them in. But it was time for value stream management. It was time to bring together all the different streams, if you will, of people and processes and tools that were popping up under this DevOps umbrella. Of course, 2020, COVID comes and we're all running around with our hair on fire just to survive. But interested in your take on that, what you looking back now at 2020, what do you think the story there was?
I think last year I did a webinar on what's the value of value stream management and looking forward as well. And so from a 2020 perspective, from a value stream perspective, it's just been an acceleration from the analysts jumping on and talking about it, from the Gartner, Forrester, all these different content coming out about how to leverage it for 2020 and into 2021. And I think a lot of organizations over the last year, although they haven't really totally adopted a value streams management principles yet, but they're moving toward that, and they're going to need to move more toward it in order to take care of the things that they had to do rapidly to adjust to COVID, right? I mean, it was all of a sudden, boom, we're all working from home. Well, that didn't have a large impact at ConnectALL. We have a pretty remote team anyway, but a lot of organizations didn't. And then secondly, those organizations had to rapidly accelerate their digital transformation to meet demand and needs, right? A kind of analogy of restaurants that weren't doing Grubhub or weren't doing those, they had to start doing that. They had to shift their business. And in that, you may have done things that aren't quite optimal. So now you need to go back and, like you were talking earlier, and optimize your value stream, normalize it so that you can keep pace with the market, with your digital transfer or your digital experiences for your customer. Value stream management is very important from that perspective. You know, you can't get along with that brick and mortar anymore. You've got to have a self-service organization, and the digital transformation and digital experience is leading the way, and will continue to do that from my perspective from here. It was a radical shift that made faster a shift that was already underway.
To add on to that, I think a lot of companies are, they shifted to think about how are they going to work remotely, how are they going to think about work differently, but they weren't really thinking about managing their value stream, even though that kind of was what they were doing. So I think that's where we are with value stream management is people, you can't not manage your value stream. I suppose you could mismanage your value stream, but I think a lot of people are thinking about bits and pieces and parts. And value stream management is still a term that people don't understand what it means, and the industry hasn't really nailed down what exactly is in it and isn't in it. So I think that's going forward. There's going to be more conversations about what it is and isn't, and what it means. And but from my perspective, I would like to see the industry be more intentional about thinking about their value streams and managing them, rather than, than being unintentional and not managing them.
Fair enough. You said something there, Andrew, and it strikes a chord, which is, I guess this is why there's such a male-dominated field. We think of tools first. And so when we think of value stream management, we immediately start thinking about value stream management tools, right? Like an app. Give me a value stream management app. And to a lot of people, that's the beginning and the end, the alpha and the omega, right? Of value stream management. But it's not. It's not about a tool per se, nor is it about just managing the tools that you use, unless you think people are tools too. There are some folks who maybe are, but but seriously, right? There's more to value stream management than tools.
That's
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Please buy my tool. It's a good tool, but the people who've got marketing budgets are hawking a tool. So we're going to hear a lot about the tools, and a lot of people are going to be misled into thinking about value stream management platforms, even though a lot of the language, a lot of times when people are talking about a platform, they'll just say value stream management and leave off the word. And I'm concerned that may cause some kind of confusion or incomplete understanding of what people really should be doing.
Well, that's true, right? So we say here at ConnectALL, value stream management is human. It's a human thing. Humans do it. A solution isn't going to do value stream management for you. By the way, we have a great value stream management platform at ConnectALL.
Please buy.
But please buy it. Yeah, sure. But if I don't train you how to use it, train you how to look at your value stream, look for places to optimize. We're going to be able to give you the places where you can see it, measure it, and from that, we'll help you automate it. But the tools are going to tell you where to automate. Right. The analogy I used with you earlier was I got a brand new Tesla in my front yard, but I don't have a driver's license. What am I going to do? right? I'm going to try, but I'll probably end up, with a ticket or something. But the point is, it's a human thing. So when I think about the predictions for value stream management for 2021 is I think the industry is going to start to understand that more, provide training, services, consulting, allow the humans to be successful with value stream management. And to be successful in value stream management, you don't really need a tool. You need to understand how to look at things, how to use lean principles, how to see ways, see how the information flows through your organization, and use tools to optimize your value stream. It's not a different approach, but that's really the truth of it. It's not value stream management isn't a tool. We have a value stream management platform that can really do well, but if you don't know how to use it, you're not going to improve flow. You're not going to improve your value stream.
And how to use it is all the human stuff. It's the theory of constraints. It's systems thinking. It's the Toyota kata,
Right.
And it's knowledge of DevOps and Agile.
Right. How to use it isn't how to log into it and click the buttons. It's how to look at your value stream and know that there's waste or constraints or there's why are we doing this way and changing that more than setting up using the tool. And to us, that's value stream management at ConnectALL.
Got it. So, as we sit here in early 2021 now, we're at Predict, looking ahead. Most of us are still working remotely, right? Let's say a majority of the people out here are working remotely. How does that kind of affect, help, hinder, hurt, how we're able to use a value stream management platform, how we're able to, identify ways that we're being wasteful or we could do better, but then implement them, right? How is this whole working from home remote thing helped, or is it a non-factor?
At first, I'm thinking, this industry that we have is a real blessing that we can more easily than many industries work remotely. So that's my first knee-jerk thought. What are you thinking, Lance?
So I think there's a couple things that, working from remotely at home and value stream platforms can do, right? So because we're having to build out our digital experiences more, that's become more dependent, right? We have to be able to interoperate with those. And our tooling allows you to do that. But at the same time, we're not doing business in the same way. You have to look at how we're doing business from a value stream perspective more appropriately, and accelerate our digital transformation using the efficiencies and things that you can do with value stream management, right? For example, my head is going to releasing code quicker, right? Releasing code into production quicker, smaller batch sizes, all of these things. These get uncovered that you need to do it in a value stream management optimization and exercises. And value stream platforms can help you do that. Where before, maybe that wasn't as important, but now keeping up pace is really important and being very efficient in the way that you're delivering software, delivering products and services to your customer with your software ordering environments. Mm-hmm. And everybody wants to self-serve now, right? We're all moving to that. If I'm not managing those systems and continually adding products to those or adding capabilities to those, and also then security as well happens, which is important to look at when you think about value stream management, right? When I've got code in production, I need to get that monitoring information, a feedback loops from that to come right back into production really quick. So I'm not depending upon my brick and mortar business anymore. This is the front end, right? The example is even before COVID, how often were you in a branch at a bank?
Yeah, it's been years for me.
These systems are running your business. So if you're not continually trying to improve them, be efficient with them during COVID, that's really, during working from home or all these different pieces, that's how your business is getting done today. So the specific working from home, I think the industry you're in, that wasn't so bad, but, there's still still have to manage the platforms that people interact with now.
Got it. Guys, I was recently reviewing a survey by McKinsey and Company. They do a good job, and they spoke to enterprise customers from around the world about this past year going into 2021. And a couple of things that really stood out. Some were obvious, right? The amount of digital transformation, it was probably somewhere between 3 and 7 years worth of digital transformation plans were condensed into this past year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we all kind of accept that. What was interesting was the estimates of how long it would take to do things. Switching to a totally remote workforce, pumping out new applications, normalizing, your CI/CD pipelines and trains and stuff like this, deploying software. For whatever reason, when you looked at what they had budgeted in terms of days, man hours, to the actual time that it took, it was a fraction. If they budgeted 25 days for something, it took 4 days. Across, up and down the board, for every kind of IT function. A lot of it is because a lot of these folks were going digital already, right? But what effect? I mean, and it's a good thing, I think. What effect does this have on us going forward with value stream management, and how do we recalibrate, if you will? If your estimates are so far off from the reality, how do we normalize that?
I'm hoping or assuming that the reduction in time was just because of scope control, not introducing quality problems. And I would hope or predict, this. Sorry for being so hopeful and not very, factual or confident in this, but if we've learned to control scope and get stuff through the pipeline or through the value stream faster, then maybe the correction will be maybe it slows down a little bit, gets a little bit more careful or thoughtful, paid more attention to quality and test automation and good practices, and then the estimates and the reality will naturally converge. Just because we're so used to things taking so much longer, we'll bring the estimates down with the new reality. And this is, I don't know, this pie in the sky or whatever, or being too hopeful, but wouldn't it be awesome if it's a great new future where we can get things done more quickly and our estimates are fairly close to that?
We've been promising people that for a long time with this DevOps thing, right? So you kind of hope so. But I think, guys, that's really the question for 2021. Did we cut corners, do things maybe a little sloppy because of what 2020 was about, and would we pay the price in 2021? Or because of things like a value stream management platform, because of DevOps and digital transformation, Andrew, are we in a new paradigm, so to speak, to, in your point?
I've exhausted all of my hopefulness, and now I'm in the reality is, and all the years that I've been in this, is that we probably did cut quite a few corners, and it's going to take good value stream management, good humans, good application of lean and agile principles, and good application of software craftsmanship to sustain the speed gains and put the quality back into it.
Well, what is the technical debt that was incurred by accelerating?
You hit it, Lance. Yep.
So I think, during that time, acceleration happened and things got done quicker. And I call that I like this power of do. All right, shit, things have happened. I've got to go and get this stuff done. And we did some of that at ConnectALL and allowed us to really accelerate in a bunch of great ways. But I think in some of these institutions, there's some technical debt from just, okay, let's just get this out there. We need this. Our business is suffering. Now we need to go back maybe as we're stabilized, you were saying that earlier, and analyze what practices did I put in place, right? And optimize your value stream and you have to continue to deliver now as well. Right? We have to continue to keeping up with the market, new capabilities, new features, functions to serve my customers and really become more efficient at not just software delivery, but also my whole business in a digital transformation as well. So I think there's some technical debt you have to look at.
Absolutely. So Lance, as we look at 2021, right, you mentioned earlier, it's about humans as well. It's about the people. It's about getting them kind of up to speed on value stream management and value stream management platforms and how to use them, how to optimize with them, right? How to maximize. How do we, and not we, you, how does ConnectALL, right? How are you going to help do that in 2021?
That's really interesting as I'm sitting here on an offsite with Andrew right here next to me, and we're planning out 2021 and what we're going to do. So we've always known that we're going to create an enablement program to help customers and companies and people, the humans, understand how to hold value stream optimization programs, right? How to hold that session, how to do that remotely, how to get the information, how to look for ways. I use these principles, it's things I've been doing since before ConnectALL, through the years of looking at all your tools, how your work intake to code and production flow happens, and make recommendations. And I was on a webinar last year, and I was asked this question: how do I get started with value stream management? And my only response I could say was, well, here's a list of books, right? So, ConnectALL this year, we have an initiative going on where we're going to be introducing value stream management training, not training on our product, but actually on value stream management, training on lean principles, training on the theories of constraints, training on all those things that are going to help you have the mindset of how to map your value stream across your large organization, how to look for places where you can improve flow, improve security, do all these things, and use that kind of mindset between lean and systems thinking, and actually train you how to do that. So that's one of the big initiatives we're going to have for 2021, is helping people understand, or as I said earlier, giving you a driver's license to drive that new Tesla.
Sure. To that McKinsey study I mentioned earlier, something that I saw that was kind of counterintuitive to me, and interested in your thoughts on it, is companies who felt that they were out in front in digital transformation, DevOps adoption, digitizing their business, believe it or not, were budgeting less money for digital transformation and DevOps and related projects in 2021 than those companies who kind of felt they were left behind a little bit, who were playing catch up. They're kind of doubling down on their budgets for things like DevOps, value stream management, digital transformation. You would think the leaders would continue putting the pedal to the metal, right? To extend their lead, to accelerate the advantages they perceive themselves having, instead of letting these other folks catch up. But that, I wonder if what you guys are seeing, what do you think about that?
So I'm not necessarily seeing that, but what I think about that, or my opinion would be, I've done really well at transforming my organization. I'm moving more into a stable state of innovation, which requires a little less funding. Now I'm moving from this radical change to continual improvement, right? So right up front, I've spent a lot of budget to get me here. I'm here. Now I need to focus on a stable delivery system. And now I'm just looking for innovations, looking for innovation and incremental enhancements or improvements in how I'm doing it. And that requires a little less funding than that radical shift. Now, everybody else is going to spend more money than they did in the long run doing that shift.
I don't know. It just seems counterintuitive to me. It seems wrong, quite frankly. Because my experience, and Andrew, I'm interested in yours. You've been around. Is generally the leaders don't pull back off the gas. When they're winning the race, when they're doing well, that's the time to accelerate. That's the time to build on those successes. So it'll be interesting in 2021, right? Because before this, right, especially in the lean DevOps world, high performing IT teams, as people call it, right? High performance IT. Those people were accelerating and leaving behind a sort of second class citizen of companies that weren't high performing. And now it seems, all of a sudden those underachievers are doubling down. Maybe that was the lesson of 2020, that you can't afford to be an underachiever in digitizing and DevOps and value stream and stuff like that. And they don't have a choice but to really invest real dollars there.
Well, we in the pandemic, we certainly put our foot on the gas, and we didn't let up on our improvements, particularly in the product space. But often, in our experience, we then once it kind of goes back to the theory of constraints. Once you fix one thing, that's not a constraint anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then where we're looking now is other areas of the business where the constraint has moved. So I imagine that someone who's done a digital transformation for 1 to 5 years, maybe they've reevaluated during the pandemic period that either they've gone far enough or their constraint has moved. So I'm not surprised to see kind of shifts. But I agree with your intuition that the leaders do tend to keep going and keep investing. But I suspect that there's more to these complex adaptive systems than a simple answer.
Kind of, as I'm thinking through what we're talking about the DevOps mile. Now, there's another piece of software development is make sure you're building the right thing. Mm-hmm. And I think we see investments in that type of area, right? Aligning what we are doing to business outcomes we want. Right. So I've got a system in place. I can do code releases every minute. Now I'm going to make sure that I'm releasing the right thing through my value stream. I think we're starting to see some more of that aligning the business outcomes. And I see predictive analytics on things going on and AI stuff happening within the value stream and value stream analytics that are coming out as well. But I think really the next thing is, am I delivering the right thing? If I do this, before you just had to do it, right? I got to do it. That nobody's coming into my store anymore, or coming to my branches, or that nobody's at conferences. We got to digitally transform, right? So now we've made that transformation. A lot of organizations, big and small, and some are still caught up in the frantic nature of it. Now it's like I'm ready to be more strategic about doing the things I'm doing and aligning those to the things that I want to accomplish. So I think OKRs, business outcomes, getting down all the way through your value stream, I think really where it's going to be, or focusing on being more strategic. And with the financial environment, I know we're thinking about how to be really strategic and precise against what we do in order to give good results to our customers and the outcomes they're looking to get.
Fair enough. Guys, we're running low on time here. We've just got a few seconds left, but we never even mentioned the website for people who want to get more information about Value Stream and ConnectALL. Where do they go?
ConnectALL.com.
Very cool. All right. Lance Knight, Andrew Fuqua, thank you for being with us on Predict 2021. we are going to call you back next year and see how this all turned out. So, well, we kidding. Hopefully it all turns out right, and we can even get together in person next year. This is Alan Shimel for Predict 2021. Stay tuned. We've got a lot of great sessions all through today. Please stop by our sponsors booths and check them out. There's some really great functionality over on there in the exhibit area, as well as chats and everything else. We'll be back. Take care.